Hey, Stubsters!
I'm Lasya.
And I'm Kritika, and we're your trainers from Future Steps.
Today we'll go on an amazing journey through animal science. Welcome to an adventure through the animal kingdom. We'll explore fascinating facts about how animals live, grow, and interact with their world around them. Get ready to discover different types of animals, their special features, and the amazing places they call home.
Okay, so the next couple of slides are going to be talking about grade 1. So, we're going to start talking about animal needs. Just like humans and any other living creature, animals need the following: food, water, shelter, space, and air. Just like humans need to eat to survive, animals need to eat, and they eat things such as plants, meat, or both to get energy and stay healthy. They also need water, just like us, to survive. And then they need a place that they can call home, and that can protect them from predators and the weather, so that they don't get hunted down, and so that they're safe. They also need a nice space and air. Just like humans, animals also need oxygen to live. So they need a place that contains a lot of oxygen and has a lot of space for them to live in.
Now let's talk about the different animal characteristics and different groups. The characteristics are body coverings and movement. Body coverings can be fur, feathers, scales, or skin, like we do have. Movement can be they can walk, they can fly, or they can swim, or they can crawl. And then we have simple groups like mammals, birds, fishes, or reptiles.
Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and transition into grade 2. So the next couple slides are gonna be for grade 2. So let's start off with animal classifications. So we did talk about the different groups of animals. Now we're gonna go just a little more in depth. So we have mammals. Mammals are warm-blooded animals with fur that have live babies. Reptiles are cold-blooded animals with scales that lay eggs. Birds are animals with feathers and beaks that lay eggs. Fish are animals with scales and fins that breathe underwater. And for a fact, fish also breathe in oxygen through the water. Amphibians are animals with smooth skin that live on land and in water, so they can live in both land and water.
Now let's look at the different habitats of the animals. Deserts. These are hot, dry places with little water and special plants like cacti. Forests. Areas with many trees where animals find food and shelter. So here there are likely many different types of animals living in here because there's more vegetation, more trees, and more food where the animals can find to help them keep alive for food and shelter. But whereas in the desert, there's barely anything, barely any plants to keep the animals alive. So likely there are not many animals compared to forest in desert. Ocean. This is the salty water covering most of the earth, and this is home for many water creatures like turtles, fishes, dolphins, sharks, and many more.
Okay, now let's talk about an animal's life cycle. So the reason why this is called a cycle is because it repeats itself over different generations. So an animal starts off with birth. Animals are born from mothers or they hatch from eggs, because not every animal gives birth to a baby directly. Some of them lay eggs, and then the baby hatches from it. Then, once the baby is born, it goes into its growth stage where the animal gets bigger and develops new abilities. This is where the animal can learn features that can help its future. So they can learn how to hunt, they can learn how to protect themselves, etc. Then it goes into its adult stage where it's a full grown animal that can make babies of their own. And then these babies create a new generation and the life cycle continues.
Now, everything we're going to talk about moving on is going to be relatable for grade 3. Let's talk about animal adaptations. Animals can camouflage, hibernate, migrate, and have different body features that help them to adapt in their environment. Camouflage is when animals have special colors and patterns to help them hide from predators. An example can be a chameleon, which changes color to help suit into the environment and help it protect itself from predators. So, for example, in this picture, the chameleon is on a tree, so it can turn brown and into the same color as the tree to help hide in the tree so that it can protect itself from predators. Hibernation. Some animals sleep through winter when food source is scarce. Migration. Many animals travel long distances to find food or better weather. These can be birds that move from one location to another to in place for looking for much better weather conditions and food sources. Body features. Sharp teeth, strong claws, and fast legs help animals survive. An example is a cheetah. It runs really fast to help get its food source and catch it and eat it.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about ecosystems. So we aren't going to talk about the different types of ecosystems, but we are going to talk about the things that make up an ecosystem. So the first thing that makes up an ecosystem is the sun. The sun provides energy for all living creatures on Earth. And then we have plants. Plants make their own food using sunlight. Plants would be in every single ecosystem because there are herbivores that eat plants for energy. And then there, there are herbivores in every single ecosystem because there are also carnivores that eat other animals for energy. And these are a couple of the elements that make up an ecosystem.
Everything we're going to talk from now on is going to be relatable for grade 4. We're going to first talk about vertebrates versus invertebrates. Vertebrates are animals with backbones. Examples are mammals, birds, fishes, reptiles, and amphibians, and many more. A fun fact is that only about 3% of all animal species are vertebrates. Invertebrates. These are animals without a backbone. Examples could be insects, spiders, worms, jellyfish, octopus, and many more. An interesting fact is that more than 97% of all animal species are invertebrates. That's a lot of animals.
Now let's talk about the animal groups in detail. And we already talked about a couple of these, but now we also have examples for them. So mammals, as we talked about them before, are warm-blooded animals with hair or fur, and most of them give birth to live young. An example would be an elephant. And then there's birds. Birds are animals with feathers and wings. Many can fly and lay eggs. An example would be parrots. Then we have reptiles. Reptiles are cold blooded animals with scales that lay eggs and live on land. For example, would be a chameleon like shown in the image above. Then we have amphibians. Amphibians are animals living on both land and water. They have smooth skin and lay eggs in water. An example would be a frog, because a frog can be on land and in water, unlike a fish that only lives in water. Then, for our last group, we have insects. Insects are small animals with 6 legs and have a body divided into 3 parts. Many have wings. So, for an example, we have a butterfly like shown in the image. The animal kingdom is incredibly diverse. From massive elephants to tiny insects, each group has special features that help them survive. Now, comment down below which animal group is your favorite and what makes them special. We will be going through your comments, so do some research. That is it for today. I hope you enjoyed our video. See you in our next video. Bye!